Okay. First of all, I just want to say that strong women are made from hard knocks. You could not consider yourself a strong woman if you've not been through hell and back. And that's my opinion. From a child of 3 to the woman that I am today, standing before you, this is the story that has brought me to you all today. When I was 3 years old, I was walking down the street with my mother and my little sister and my uncle. And my mom had been a woman that was in a domestic violence relationship. She was married to a man that would abuse her. And she had decided that she had had enough. She wanted to get a divorce. She was wanting out. He was not willing to let her go. So he pulled up while we were walking down the street and shot her with a sawed-off shotgun. It was in front of me and my little sister. She was holding my little sister at the time. She survived. My uncle was also shot. He lost a kidney, but he also survived. I had to, watch my mother lay there, bleed to death, die at an early age, and thank God I don't remember it now, but it has made me the woman that I am today, and why domestic violence is so near and dear to my heart, and why I will not stop until I get the word out and try my best to stop any woman that doesn't think that they are strong enough to get out. I want to tell every single woman that you are, and you don't need to be in that kind of situation. Growing up was very hard for me. People think that once you've been on TV that you must have had this great glamorous life and you come from parents and you've had everything given to you. I had to grow up without my mother and my father because they were never married. He actually became an alcoholic after her death because he felt like that it was his fault. They were going to get back together. It was my stepfather that actually killed her, and so he became an alcoholic and died at 55, and so I never knew him. So growing up was very difficult for me and my little sister. We grew up in the projects. We grew up on food stamps. All of my friends, they cheered, and I could never afford anything like that. And so when they would ask me, do you want to come over? I would have to say, yeah, that's fine. I have to ask my mama, and they were like, well, why don't you ask your mom? And I had to explain the whole thing. So I had to grow up at an early age very quickly. After I became a woman, I realized that it was very difficult for me to trust any man after going through what I did, seeing my mother murdered. And that affected me more than I knew. I held it in. I didn't want to deal with it. And so I never got any kind of counseling until I was a little bit older. But I got married, ended in divorce. He was a great man, but I could never fall in love with him. And I knew right then that I wasn't gonna get past this in my life until I faced the man that murdered my mother. 6 months after he was let out of prison, I went to his house and was by myself, which was probably not the greatest idea, but I didn't want anyone to talk me out of it. I went to his house. He was checking his mail, and I got out, and he asked me, "Can I help you?" And I said, "Do you know who I am?" And he said, "I believe that I do, because I look just like my mom." And I was wondering when this day was going to come, and I said, "Well, that day is today." So we walked into the middle of his yard, and we spoke for 3 hours. I made him relive everything that he did to my mother, relive that day. He cried, apologized, told me that he wishes that it was him and he could take her place. And I told him that his apologies meant nothing to me because he was in the paper for domestic violence with his new girlfriend. That's one part of the law that I do want to do my part to get changed. That if a man or a woman is in prison for murder, if their next girlfriend, when they get out, if they're ever in a domestic violence situation again, then they should be put away for life because It's just a matter of time before he does it again. A few minutes into our conversation, his new girlfriend walks up, and I said, "Do you know who you're with?" And she had nothing to say but other than put her head down. And I could tell right then that she felt very weak, very trapped. And her daughter, a 13-year-old little girl, walks up. And I knew that her mom was going through, and it was going to be an endless cycle. I was like, I am too strong of a woman to let this continue. My mother did not want me to carry hate for that man around in my heart, and I believe with all of my heart that this is the path that she would want me to take for her, because she no longer has a voice. She has a voice through me. And every woman that my story would change their life, give them strength, is me not helping her. I can't help her. I can help everyone that is in her place, in her situation, so that they don't have to end in death, and they don't have to have, children that doesn't know their mother. My son will never know his grandmother. And if I can do one thing to stop that, then that's my mission in life. God has a plan for all of our lives. You just have to be strong enough to take it, to go with it. Step out on faith. Never think that you're not strong enough. One thing that I do want people to change, I don't want people to consider themselves a victim of domestic violence. Victims are dead. You're a survivor of domestic violence. And I'm a survivor. And that's one, there's a song by Destiny's Child that I'll have you all listen to again. And it is amazing. And it gives you strength, and it gives you hope, and women are incredible. Women are incredible creatures. A lot of women don't think that they are after they've been beaten and they've been told that they're nothing. They don't think that they have a way out. And with this organization, I am so impressed. My heart is so full because it keeps growing. And I will do my power, anything that I can to help with that, because you're changing women's lives. And you're giving them a way out. And there's no words that can describe that. One last thing is, I knew that my mother would not want me to carry the hate around in my heart for the man that murdered her. Hate is like a cancer, and it will eat you alive. It will rob your joy, and they're not worth it. I'm going to play Survivor by Destiny's Child, and I just want you to listen to the words of this, whether you've been touched with domestic violence in your own life, or you know someone that has. I want you to play this song for them. I want you to just feel this song, because it is one of the most powerful songs that I've ever heard in my life. It's my ringtone, because it reminds me every single day that I am a survivor. I'm not a victim. Victims are weak, or victims are dead. I'm a survivor.